Hey, kids ministry volunteers. If you're getting this video, then it's because you already serve in kids ministry, or you're someone that said yes when I asked if you wanted to start serving in kids ministry. I want to start off by saying thank you for serving in kids ministry. We all know that it's a super important part of ministering to families and to kids. I'm someone who I have 3 kids in our kids ministry, and I love that I can bring my kids there, and I know that somebody besides me is helping my kids appreciate how important Jesus is and just pouring into them and helping them grow. So thank you for stepping up. Thank you for being people that recognize how important kids ministry is. I want to let you guys know about a couple of the changes that we have going on in kids ministry. Number one, as most of you know, if you've talked to me or you've probably heard, when we're going to one service, we can't have people serving an entire month if we're going to one service, right? Because they're going to miss church for an entire month. And so as I've been talking to people that are volunteering, I let everybody know that we're only going to have people volunteer once a month, because if you volunteer more than that, you're going to miss a huge section of worship for adults. And so I don't want people to serve more than once a month. I don't expect that from people, and I don't think that we should expect that from people. So you will be serving once a month. I'm trying to set up a rotation where you'll serve the same Sunday every single month. So if you serve on the first Sunday in September, you'll serve on the first Sunday in October and the first Sunday in November. I think that makes it easier, number one, for you guys, so that you can understand, hey, like, I know that I'm going to be serving in kids ministry, and so I can kind of just be prepared for that, and I don't have to worry about being surprised halfway through the week, remembering that, oh man, I'm supposed to serve this weekend, I totally forgot. And it makes it a little bit easier for me scheduling you guys. And so as far as volunteers go, I did want to talk to you guys and say that we right now, because we're going to only serving once a month, we had to double the number of volunteers that we had in kids ministry. And so we had a ton of people step up and say that they would do it. But right now, we do not have a ton of extra as far as people serving. And so that I will ask, number one, that if you know someone that you think would be good in kids ministry, that you think would do a good job pouring into kids, would be open to that, either you go and talk to them or talk to me, and I'll be more than happy to approach them and ask them if they'd be interested in stepping into kids ministry for a little bit. To be perfectly honest with you, people that serve are the best advocates for ministry, right? Because some people are intimidated if somebody that works for the church comes up to them and says, hey man, would you serve in kids? Whereas if a friend comes to them and says, hey, I've been serving in the nursery for a little while, and I love serving there because, number one, you get to hold these cute little babies. Number two, you get to spend time praying over these little ones and praying for them, praying for their parents, and you're giving their parents a break so that they can step into worship and pay attention and really take something away from the message there. And so I would ask you guys, before September 15th, I'm just looking for one person from each volunteer. So if you can approach someone and say, hey, I think you should think about stepping into kids ministry. Or if you don't feel comfortable doing that, I'm more than happy to do that. Just get me their name, and I'll be more than happy to approach them and say, hey, we're needing extra volunteers in kids ministry. Would you be willing to step into doing that for once a month? Now, one thing I will ask of you guys, since we're only serving once a month, and we are right now, don't have a whole lot of margin when it comes to how many people are serving, if it's your weekend to serve and you know that you're not going to be able to be there ahead of time, I need you to switch with someone. I need you to go with somebody. If you were to serve that first weekend, go to someone that serves the second weekend in that same classroom and say, hey, could we switch weekends? Just because if you just step out and we don't have the extra people, then somebody I'm probably going to have to ask to serve 2 Sundays out of the month, which is just not cool to do. And so you guys can do that. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, let me know ahead of time and I'll find somebody to switch with you. But I would ask that you switch with somebody and just not serve for that month, just because, until we can get more volunteers to step up into kids ministry. Again, another thing, planning center. You guys should get a reminder, an email telling you, hey, this is your weekend to serve. Please, please, please respond to that, especially if you're not going to be there, because I need to know that, because I need to fill in classrooms, because we can't have classrooms where there's no one there or just one person there, because that's not safe for kiddos, and it's not a good picture for first-time families if they go somewhere to drop off their kid and there's one person in there with 10 kids and it just looks like a war zone in there. And so you guys, please respond in Planning Center to let me know about that. If you're somebody that doesn't really get email, let me know via text whether you're going to be able to be there or not. make sure that you guys get with me for any questions. If you need to know anything, if you have any questions about the curriculum, for people that have been serving, the curriculum, we're going to keep the curriculum the same for right now, just because I didn't want to change something, and then the person that ends up coming in and taking over kids ministry change again. Number one, because that's hard on the kids, and it's hard on you as volunteers if you're going through constant changes. So we're going to keep things going as far as the orange curriculum and the way things are structured pretty similarly to what they are right now. If you're someone who just signed up and you're like, I don't understand how Sunday mornings work, I have no idea what to expect, I'll be sending out another video to give you guys a heads up on what to expect out of curriculum, kind of what's expected out of you, and what that all looks like. So I'll send that to you guys here in a secondary video so that everybody that already knows about it doesn't have to sit through an extra 5 minutes of me talking. So once again, thanks so much for serving, guys. I'm super grateful for you. It should go without saying, but I'm praying for each one of you, for your families. I've been looking over our volunteer list and just praying for them, praying for the kids in our kids ministry, the same way that I do in student ministry with parents and with our leaders and with our students. And so super thankful for you guys. Thank you for taking the time out to watch this video. Hopefully you made it to the end. It's about 6.5 minutes of me talking. So I hope you have a great weekend. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to give me a yell or a text, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Thanks, guys.